Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel, your go-to place for South African political analysis, breaking news, and the truth behind the headlines. Today, we're diving deep into the explosive remarks made by MK Party leader Bonginkosi Khanyile during a Youth Day address in KwaMashu. His comments have reignited fierce national debate over former President Jacob Zuma's controversial 2021 arrest, a moment many believe changed the course of post-apartheid South African politics forever. Khanyile didn't mince his words. Standing before a packed crowd, he declared what many Zuma supporters have been saying for years, that the former president's arrest was not only unconstitutional, but a politically motivated act, orchestrated by President Cyril Ramaphosa and Chief Justice Raymond Zondo. "You don't have to like me," Khanyile said. "You don't even have to like President Zuma. But let's be honest, what happened in 2021 was wrong." Now, for those who may have forgotten, let's rewind for some context. In 2021, Jacob Zuma was sentenced to 15 months in prison for contempt of court. His crime? Refusing to appear before the Zondo Commission of Inquiry into State Capture. No trial. No legal defense. No opportunity to be heard. The Constitutional Court issued the sentence directly. That unprecedented decision triggered one of the most violent periods in democratic South African history. Riots erupted across KwaZulu-Natal and parts of Gauteng. Malls were looted. Highways blocked. Infrastructure torched. And over 300 lives were lost. The economic damage was catastrophic, with losses estimated at over 50 billion. Khanyile, who was arrested himself during that unrest and later acquitted of incitement charges, believes that Zuma's imprisonment wasn't just an attack on one man, but a dangerous departure from the principles of justice enshrined in South Africa's constitution. There was no trial, Khanyile reminded the audience. There was no opportunity for the man to defend himself in court. That goes against every principle in our constitution. This is not just rhetoric. It touches on a much deeper issue, whether South Africa's legal and political institutions are still functioning impartially, or whether they've become tools of factional power struggles within the ruling ANC. Khanyile accused Chief Justice Raymond Zondo, who chaired the very commission Zuma defied, of allowing himself to be used politically, and suggested that President Cyril Ramaphosa used the moment to consolidate power, instead of upholding justice. To understand why Khanyile's words carry weight, we must look at his political evolution. Once a leader of the Fees Must Fall movement and a vocal activist on university campuses, he has transformed into a key figure in the MK Party, the political movement that has shaken the ANC, especially in KwaZulu-Natal. Under the symbolic leadership of Jacob Zuma, the MK Party made significant electoral gains in the 2024 general elections, denying the ANC a majority and forcing it into coalition governance for the first time since 1994. Khanyile's remarks are part of a broader campaign by MK leaders to reframe Zuma's 2021 arrest as not just unjust, but unconstitutional and anti-democratic. They argue that the Zondo Commission itself was flawed from the start, biased, politically weaponized, and designed to target one man while ignoring the broader rot within the ANC and state institutions. Of course, not everyone agrees. Many legal scholars argue that the Constitutional Court acted within its authority and that Zuma's repeated defiance left the court with no other option. But even among those who support the court's ruling, there's a recognition that the fallout was poorly managed, and that the consequences were disastrous. It's also important to ask, why is this issue resurfacing now? The answer may lie in the MK Party's strategy. With the ANC weakened, the MK Party is pushing to consolidate its support, especially among youth and working-class voters who feel alienated from the political elite in Pretoria. By positioning Zuma as a victim of political persecution and by painting Ramaphosa and Zondo as agents of injustice, the MK Party is tapping into deep-rooted frustrations in South African society. Frustrations about inequality, about unemployment, About a political system that often seems unresponsive to the lived experiences of ordinary citizens. And the timing is key. These comments were made during Youth Day, a moment that commemorates the 1976 Soweto uprising, when students took to the streets to protest against the apartheid regime. Khanyile's message was clear: if we forget how easily rights can be violated, even in a democracy, we risk repeating the very injustices we fought so hard to escape. Khanyile's warning struck a chord: what happened to Zuma can happen to anyone if we don't defend the principles of justice. Whether you support the MK party or not, this issue demands attention. It challenges us to think critically about the balance of power between the judiciary and the executive, the weaponization of legal processes, and the role of accountability in a democracy where former liberation heroes are now accused of betrayal. The broader question here isn't just about Jacob Zuma. It's about the integrity of our institutions. Can we trust that justice will be blind and impartial? Or are we seeing the judiciary become another battleground in South Africa's brutal political war? The ANC is already facing immense pressure, from within and from new political forces rising on the outside. Cyril Ramaphosa's legacy is being defined not just by his anti-corruption rhetoric but by the fallout of Zuma's jailing, the Marikana silence, the failure scandal, and his struggle to unite a deeply fractured ruling party. Meanwhile, the MK party is presenting itself as the authentic voice of a betrayed revolution, a party for those who feel Zuma was wronged, and that the struggle for true justice remains unfinished. So, what do you think? Was Zuma's 2021 arrest a necessary enforcement of the rule of law, or was it a politically motivated ambush, as Bonginkosi Khanyile suggests? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. We've got more deep dives, more analysis, and more raw truth about South African politics coming your way. Thanks for watching, and as always, see you next time.